Alright. Hold up. What did I just do? Are we getting it up? Okay. Looks like the audio. Man, it has been ages since I've done this. It has been ages. Can everybody hear me okay? Hello. How are we doing? Can everybody hear me okay? Here we go. Oh my goodness. How long has it been since we've seen this screen? Oh man, it has been a long time coming. It's been a long time. I hear a dark Okay, so everything's working. Okay. Sorry, I never really set up for streaming on the new PC, even though I've had the PC for almost 2 months now. I just never set it up. It is so exciting. Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Adastra with your host Fallenwolf. Oh wait, I knew I was forgetting something. Hold on, let me fix the headset. I forgot the freaking webcam. Ta-da! Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode. Is the face cam big enough for everyone, or do you need me to make it bigger or smaller? Man, but seriously, it has been such a long time. It's been so long since we've played Adastra. I think I'm gonna drop down the thingy. I don't know if it's better if I drop it down here. You think it's better here, or you think it's better at the top? I'm not sure. Also, ignore the black bars. There are gonna be some black bars because this visual novel does not have well, it has black bars regardless wherever you go. I gotta fix my glass. Hey, Wolfrith, I've been doing good. I know it's been so long. You know how sad it is? I happened to look to see when the last video of this I did was 4 months ago. I did not think it'd been that long. I was like, oh, maybe like 2 months. No, 4 months. It's been long. This is kind of almost a spur of the moment. I woke up today and I said, I need to do live streams again. I know last video I had mentioned that I'm possibly not doing these anymore. I'm gonna still do them. I enjoy doing this too much, and I enjoy chatting with the folks too much and giving my guesses and my opinions on certain visual novels, so I can't just stop not playing these. But in all seriousness, I think I'm gonna get back into live streaming. I really miss doing it. The reason I remember, the biggest reason I had stopped doing them was because YouTube's been a pain in the ass, and they were cutting a lot of my streams out. Even the streams that had no sexual content whatsoever in them, they were like, oh no, it's furry, we gotta cut you off. So I'm really hoping that nothing happens with this one. Crossing my fingers. Speaking of, give me 1 second, because I probably should have an image ready just in case. I should probably have an image just in case something happens. YouTube live screen caps, scene pictures, drawing emotes. Oh, I have a new one. I love this. Yeah, we're gonna use this one. Okay, what do people think of this one? This is actually from Familiar Travels that I'm still playing, but I think this is so perfect to use as a freaking cover up. So we're gonna lower that, slide in the back, and leave it alone. But anyway, it is. Yeah, I'm gonna still be doing streams. Certain games I've been playing, I'm not gonna worry about. Familiar Travels that I just mentioned. It's going to still be a recorded series. It's just so long that I feel like it would take forever, and and plus it makes it so much. Plus it makes that series, I feel like it's better done as a solo because there's so many routes. Just that way I can abbreviate which video is for which route. Yeah, I think that's a perfect face. I love that face. But yeah, so last time we left on Adastra, I halfway forgot what happened. Well, I know Amicus is in jail. I know Amicus is in jail, and I know that we found out that Alex betrayed us, which didn't surprise much. Well, it it did surprise me at first. It doesn't surprise me now. But very quick spiel, and then we're gonna move on to the game. I'm talking long enough. We are going very quick spiel. I was already playing on live streaming. I had a sudden spur of a moment, decided I'm gonna live stream again, and then not to mention yesterday I got a notification. I didn't watch all of it. That Dirk the Red Panda, by the way, if you don't follow them, follow them. They're an amazing furry visual novel YouTuber, and they're actually working on their own visual novel right now. But anyway, they were playing something called Chemia. Apparently already, which I don't know how that happened. Already, the first public demo of the sequel to Adastra is out. That is something I'm going to be playing, but I'm not going to be, in case there's spoilers. The only thing I know in Adastra is, the only spoiler I would give that I don't think is a spoiler is apparently in Chemia, the sequel, again, the sequel to Adastra, you don't play a human. You don't play Marco. Marco is not the main character. It's a completely different character. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna finish. No, Wolf. I'm finishing Adastra. I don't want to look too. I looked at only like 5 minutes and scrolled through of Chemia. The one thing I did notice is the art is different. I think it's the same. I think it's the same artist, but I noticed everything seemed more defined. It had a less cartoonish look, which I don't know how I feel about, but we won't talk about that until I get to it. But anyway, Adastra, load. I gotta try to remember the voices, so forgive me if I don't remember every single voice, because it's been 4 months. Luckily, there's another sightseer craft in the gazebo. Though it looks much older and the floor in this one isn't transparent, which I'm fine with. I'd rather not gaze into the inky blackness of the water beneath my feet while sailing to the island. Neferu is quiet most of the time, looking confident in everything he does as he prepares the craft. Finally, he reaches out his paw to chivalrously pull me on board. The lake laps quietly around us as we approach the island, a black mass amongst the ripples of reflected moonlight in the waves. I immediately spot Alex's craft sitting on the beach near where we had our little picnic all those weeks ago. We travel a little further up the shore, out of sight of the craft, before we drift onto the beach. And like I said, if it's something... Okay, he did just update the sprites. Okay, I was just told that he did update the sprites. Also, if any of the audio sounds off, anything wrong, let me know. Like I said, I'm not an audio technician. I have been trying to work on the audio for my stuff, but like I said, if anything sounds off, it sounds a little too screechy, let me know. I'll try to fix some settings real quick to make things sound a little bit better. Especially for the game. If anything sounds... Speaking of, I'm going to turn this down very slightly. Especially if anything sounds... too off, just let me know. Nefer holds out a paw again to help me down, even though I don't need it. As I settle in the sand, though, he leans in close to whisper in my ear. Wait here, and fortunately, I believe simian footfalls are louder than that of a jackal. Okay, but call me if something happens or you need help. I see a smile on Neferu's face, and though it's amused, it's not in a condescending way at all. Of course, my friend. And with that, the jackal disappears into the night, leaving me with only the little craft and the gentle sounds of the waves to keep me company. I don't have to wait long before I hear voices coming from further up the beach, and I know right away that it's Neferu and Alex. I wait for a few moments to see if Neferu will call my name. When he doesn't, I frown and look around before quietly making my way towards the voices. It's not like I expect he needs my help, but I don't want to miss anything important, and I feel like the moment of confrontation with Alex should involve me. As I get closer, I'm able to make out the words, and I see that the two of them are right on the edge of the woods, standing just a few feet apart. I crouch and hide along the tree line as I listen more closely to what they're saying. Beautiful night, I've always wanted to come to the island to gaze at the moon and planet, away from the lights of the palace. Oh, I see. It is incredibly beautiful here, isn't it? While he's speaking in his typical pleasant tone, I can definitely tell that Alex seems a bit nervous, his voice tight and a bit out of breath. So... Yes? Alex looks around nervously. I heard you speaking just before I happened upon you. Is there someone else with you? Me? Oh, no, definitely not. You know, it's rather embarrassing, but sometimes I just talk to myself. Don't be embarrassed. It's something I do as well. Oh, I see. Alex, you son of... Alex he's such a liar. The can box is slightly over the text. Okay. Oops, see? I'm glad somebody told me. I think it's going to have to be here. I just happened to notice that. It's going to slightly obscure the faces, but not too much. I'd rather it be here than, you know. Thank you for letting me know that, animations. Alex seems to be relaxing a bit under Neferu's treatment, but tenses up again at the next sentence. Though I usually don't whisper to trees. Now, that is a bit odd. I see Alex's ears flatten, though I'm a bit confused at the statement. Whispering to trees? Alex doesn't seem to have an answer ready and stutters in the most guilty way imaginable. Weirdly enough, though, he slides up closer to Neferu. I think that's a misspelling. This is the most recent version, so... Neferu, you're the one that's acting a bit odd right now, you know. The small cat's demeanor suddenly changed to more Solari's approach, relaxing his shoulders and drifting a paw down his body. It doesn't seem natural at all, unlike Neferu's smile as he stares down at the approaching cat. He's still smiling when Alex reaches up to cup his cheeks and kiss him right on the lips. Alex is such a manipulative bitch! He is such a manipulative bitch, but he's so terrible at it. That's the thing. Neferu's actually good with his... Neferu's naturally good at being subtle and manipulative. Freaking Alex, though, is terrible at it. I blink, surprised at the sudden turn the scenario has taken. Neferu looks anything but surprised, though, grinning throughout the kiss as Alex tries to kiss deeper. Finally, the cat seems to notice the lack of response from the jackal, and he draws back, frowning. Neferu shakes his head. Oh, Alex, you know that's my technique. That will not work on me. Now, why don't we have a look at that tree? Alex freezes up, looking around, and that's when I think he spots me. Who's that? Neferu turns his head just slightly... Oh gosh, this fight music. Neferu turns his head just slightly in my direction, and that's when Alex makes his move. He sends a kick sailing between the jackal's legs, and just as I'm readying myself to intervene, Neferu's paw is there, solidly stopping the attack. There's a pause, Neferu holding Alex's leg, forcing him to balance on one foot as the jackal's smile turns smug. What a pity that you're not the first to try such a move on me. I've learned people on this moon fight dirty. Oh gosh, remember Cato, guys? Alex squeaks but balls up a fist anyway, sending a straight punch square into Neferu's stomach. It connects with a hollow thud bouncing off the jackal's abs like they're made of bricks, Neferu only grunting slightly in response. Oof, now that's a bit more like it. Suddenly, Neferu uses a leg to sweep Alex's only foot off the ground, sending the cat onto his back in the sand. Neferu follows him down, pinning the cat there, almost engulfing Alex with his much bigger body. Get off! Get off of me! Help! Alex spots me as I come into the open, standing next to the two of them. Mark, help me! The jackal's gone mad! I fold my arms to stand over him, and Alex quickly realizes that I'm definitely not here to help him. What are you two doing? I told you I know nothing! Mark, why must you keep attacking me like this? Alex continues to struggle meekly under the jackal, not even looking like he's trying to escape. Attack you? Then why is it my stomach that is sore? Alex doesn't seem to be listening, and tears start brimming in his eyes as he begins to sob. Now I'm fully convinced that the sobs in the bathing room were all an act. Mark. I turn my attention back to Neferu, who's still smiling as always. About 10 paces directly in front of me is a large tree, larger than the others that surround it. Do you see it? I look ahead and immediately see what Neferu's talking about. The tree, noticeably larger than the others, its branches stretching dozens of feet in the air, the leaves looking like silver in the moonlight. Yes? Go up to it, circle it, see if you could find a hollow. I do as I'm told, feeling a little apprehensive as I step just inside the dark woods. Wait, Neferu! Mark, I don't understand. Why are we doing this? I realize at that moment how much I'm trusting Neferu here. I have no idea what's happening at all. The trunk of the tree is thick enough that I wouldn't be able to touch hands if I were to hug it. I start looking for the hollow Neferu described, and as I walk around the tree, I immediately spot one on the other side of it. I look into the black hole, feeling a bit nervous at what I might find in there. I stop as a tiny red light in the hollow flares the life of my voice before fading again. What the... It happens again, pulsing to the sound of my voice. You found it? Yeah, there's a little red light in there that's lighting up with my voice. I watch the hypnotic ebb and flow of the light as I speak. Thank you, Mark. You may come back now. Gratefully, I returned to the side of my Chemian friend, noticing that Alex's demeanor has completely changed now. He's sullen, though almost expressionless as he lies under the jackal, not even pretending to be trying to escape at this point. Well, that settles it, doesn't it, Alex? Alex remains silent, staring up at the sky. What is it? Neferu looks up at me. Classic, of... Oh boy. Using made-up words. Classic Fan parent tech. They often combine plant life and machinery to create their gadgets. Rather ingenious, and now they've recently been sharing their knowledge with us on Chemia. What a mistake that was. Wait, but what is it? A communication device. It uses the branches as a massive antenna, capable of transmitting information great distances, though it's likely transmitting to Adastra City. There is likely a second spy there who beams the information through a much more powerful machine, straight to Amorva. Neferu grins in Alex's face. Isn't that right, Alex? Once again, Alex remains silent, seeming to shut down. So, do you want to be the one to tell Cassius, Mark? That finally gets a reaction out of Alex, and he stiffens up, fur bristling out as he snarls at Neferu. And for what reason, Jackal? We're all spies here, including you, especially you. Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about, Alex. Neferu's tone says otherwise. Alex continues to glare up at the jackal, his fur starting to lay flat again. Oh, you think I'm that stupid? You think I just let you fuck me without any regard to your intentions? Without studying you? I know why you're here, Jackal. Do enlighten me, Cat. You're floundering here, looking to make a name for yourself. The Pharaoh practically tossed you off the planet to attempt to cultivate a hopeless alliance on Adastra. Neferu's eyes narrow. How unfilling it must be to be the second-born, unable to escape the shadow of your brother, unable to make father proud, stuck with this moon, getting your balls kicked in by the bigot wolves. Alex sounds and looks almost unrecognizable. Even your sisters, the third and fourth-born, have secured a position of greater prestige than you. I see Neferu grip tighter into Alex, but the cat goes on. In an era when the royal family has already given up so much power, you're desperate behind that facade of confidence, terrified of withering away into historical insignificance. You'll be less than a footnote in the Chemian history books. Neferu doesn't smile anymore, and I can tell that he's been caught off guard, just as much as me by the cat's complete change in character. Still, he keeps his hold on the cat, remarking coolly, I would choose my words more carefully if I were you, considering your position right now. As I was saying, we'll be reporting this to the Emperor as soon as we return to the palace. Alex seems to deflate again, apparently satisfied with the hits he'd gotten in on the jackal. What do you want? Don't play stupid. What do you want from me? You've known I was a spy since you first got here, and you're only doing this now because you want something. Oh, how considerate of you. Well... Neferu looks up at me. What do you think we want, Mark? Full access to the archives. Alex snorts. I don't have that. Then get it. We know how close you are to Cassius. Make something up as to why you need it, then grant us access. For what reason? To help Amicus. Cassius will not be harmed by this. You have until next week. Otherwise, the Emperor will know of your treason. Alex remains quiet, and Neferu seems satisfied with that, pushing off the cat and getting to his feet. Let us be off. The jackal speaks briskly to me before turning on his heel and making his way back to the craft. I look down at Alex, watching as the cat simply stares at the moons, not even acknowledging me. The way back is a bit awkward. Neferu quiet, clearly upset. I haven't really ever seen him like this before, and I have to remind myself that I probably rarely see the real Neferu. He's putting on an act just like Alex, just like they both have to. And though I'm curious about his family situation, I have enough sense not to pry. Instead, I ask what I'm most worried about. What's to stop Alex from betraying us? He could just as easily tell Cassius about our plot. The jackal is staring off into the water, his elbows in the railing of the sightseer as he hunches over. He won't. He can't bear the thought of Cassius knowing of his betrayal. The usual confidence and natural smugness that's usually in the Jackal's voice is completely missing, his tone flat. You sure? Yes, his love for Cassius is almost equal to that of his loyalty to Amorpha, which is why I'm assured him that Cassius wouldn't be harmed by our plans. We have little to worry about. The Jackal's mood puts me off from asking any more questions, and we see out the rest of the way to the palace in silence. Well, obviously we're going to keep going, but well then. Surprise, surprise, Alex is a spy. And we're asking for his help. But I'm worried that he might betray us. Because it's Alex. I'm worried that he might betray us. I don't know why. I'm just a little worried. 3 days later, Alex is able to gain full access to the archives. He doesn't explain to us how he did it, instead simply notifying Neferu of the specific time he'd opened the archives for us and to be ready. Okay, so he gave it to us, but I still feel like he has something up his sleeve. He's gonna be like, oh yeah, like, I feel like, alright, here's my theory. I feel like Alex stole the code somehow, and then, while we're in the middle of using it, he's gonna bull crap to Cassius. Like, oh yeah, they stole the archive access. Or Cato. Well, no, Cato is kind of smart. I think he definitely stole from Cassius. Cato is too smart for that. I don't have time to argue to come along I don't have to argue to come along this time. Instead, Virginia tells me that I'll need to go for her to erase my profile from the palace's database. Doing this will allow me to leave the palace without being killed by Calm. Just another last resort in case things go bad. Neferu stays behind this time, deciding it to be best considering he's not exactly needed for what we're about to do. Alex walks stiffly ahead of us, not speaking or really acknowledging us in any way. I find it unnerving, after knowing the cat for so long, though Virginia doesn't seem bothered at all. We walk to a portion of the palace that I haven't been to very often, mostly because I was never shown the area. Alex comes to the door that he presses his hand to, and, unlike the other black panels, this one flashes a green color before the door opens. Ooh, this is new. We walk inside the room and I get my first look at the archive. I guess I'd expected rows of bookshelves, full of some type of digital storage or whatever the wolves might use. Instead, I'm greeted by the sight of a giant blue glowing spear with a honeycomb pattern covering its surface. What's most striking about it, though, is the swirling characters that appear and disappear just over the surface. They're symbols I don't recognize, not any that I've seen on Adastra before. Sitting in front of the floating spear are two stone dragons, mouths open and silent snarls. Alex seems to be in a hurry as he walks up to the globe. Without hesitation, he sticks his paw into the swirling blue, and the characters and swirls seem to congregate around it before the whole thing pulses. This seems to satisfy the cat as he turns away. That should give you full access. You're on your own from here. With that, the cat leaves. I watch him disappear out the door for the first time, feeling a bit sad at how our relationship has changed. Virginia remains unbothered, though, walking up to the blue spear as I follow. And this is the screen cap. Again, like I said, I don't actually play through up to the parts where I use screen caps. 9 times out of 10, I just skip and get to a picture that I think looks good, and then I post it. I stand there awkwardly for a moment before clearing my throat. So, what is this thing? The archive. Yeah, but it looks... It's parental, yes and no. I don't know how it works. It was also used as a method of communication with the parents before they ceased contact, hence the meditation pillow. Virginia gestures at the pillow before she leans forward slightly, a streak of blue light wrapping around her head briefly before she leans back. It connects to the host's brain, similar to the linguo, and operates on mind control. Wow. Yes, I haven't used it often, but it's fairly easy to control. You'll find out soon enough. Oh. I feel a bit nervous, but Virginia focuses on the blue globe. Suddenly, a small screen appears over the spear, and I see what looks like an amphitheater. What day was the final trial? I'm about to answer when suddenly Virginia just waves me into silence, focusing on the screen again. I see the scene change to a bloody sunset, and I feel the same anxiety I felt that day as I see Cato and Amicus appear on the screen, followed by me and Cassius. The angle is high and the scene is a bit distant, probably from the palace, but I can make everything out clearly. Cassius strips and hurries down the steps to the amphitheater, and I want to look away, but don't as Cato turns on Amicus and punches him in the face. Virginia's reaction is small but noticeable, clearly surprised by Cato's brutality. What follows is the awkward stage posing and the pin. Then the footage of me using the nerve on Cassius. This is followed by Amicus tearing off Cato's visor. After that, I run off screen and I get to watch his drones descend on Amicus, and he suddenly goes limp as they, I assume, stun him. Virginia watches all of this with an open mouth until Amicus is escorted away and Cato is picked up by a small ship that lands in the middle of the amphitheater. Then she shakes her head. Males. Virginia sighs out of frustration as the screen fades. So you got the footage? I've filed it away to a domain accessible by both me and Neferu. We'll figure out a way to use it delicately. And the investigation into the crash? This is something that I brought up to Virginia and Neferu before we came here, even though both seem skeptical that it can be useful in any way. Oh, somebody's hit me up. Hold on. Okay, I think we're good. Everybody can still hear okay, right? I'm just making sure everybody can hear okay. Give me 1 second. I'm checking something right now. Okay, we're good. We are A-okay. That even Cato wouldn't be so devious as to kill his own friend, a friend that happened to be the Emperor. Even now, Virginia sighs as if it's an annoying inconvenience, but focuses for a moment until she seems satisfied. Done. All documents related to the investigation are now in the same location. We'll go over it later. Well, at least you and Neferu can. There's a momentary pause. Well, that was easy. Yeah, it was a little too easy. What did you expect? Parental tech makes everything fast and easy. Yeah, I suppose. So, are you ready to use it? I think so. Virginia smiles at me. Don't worry, it's easy. Simply keep your mind clear of anything except your objective, your profile, and how it should be wiped clean from the archive. My profile? I try to think of how I should imagine a profile, but Virginia stops me. You're already thinking too much. Just this, your profile, wipe it from the archives. I swallow hard, but allow Virginia to gently push me forward until one of the tendrils touches my face. It's a cool feeling at first, then suddenly my body seizes up involuntarily, as it feels like my entire brain switches. Keep focused on your objective. My profile, gone. My profile, erase it. My profile, delete from the archives. Oh no. A dagger screams. Pain, blood, hissing breath, spurting red, absolute anguish. Mark, no, please, don't leave me here. Please come back to me. You can't leave me to be alone like this. Amicus screams right in my ear, and I've never heard him sound like this before. It's horrible, and I know I need to comfort him, to tell him I'm not leaving, but my voice is going and air hisses from my throat. No, 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 speak to me! Amicus' voice rises in pitch, panicking, becoming desperate. Then it all stops. You can prevent this, but only if you submit yourself to the benevolent will of the parents. Will you? I don't like this. I'm not liking this. I don't like this. I want to say no, but so wait. Was that a hint about our was that trying to say we're gonna die? Oh no! Nobody spoils. No spoilers. No spoilers. Does this mean did the monitor just suddenly say, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna give you a vision of the future"? So I wonder if we say no, if he'll let us die. So if we say yes, does that mean that he won't kill us? Or he won't let us die? Or is it the monitor himself that kills us? I'm so confused right now. I don't know what choice to make. Should I? I'm gonna save. I want to say yes. I want to say yes if for no other reason, because I feel like if we say no, I'm wondering was that hit? Who's gonna kill us? Is it Cato? Cassius? No, Cassius is too much of a wuss. Cassius wouldn't kill us. But Cato might. Is this Cato gonna kill us, or was it the Monitor? Is the Monitor gonna kill us if we say no? I'm so confused. I feel like no matter what, I have to say yes to live. Will we give it? You know what? You know what? I'm gonna go with yes. Because mostly everybody here's already played and finished it, or I would ask the audience. I'm gonna go with yes. Because I feel like if we say no, we're gonna die. Either Cato's gonna kill us, or the Monitor is. I still think there's gonna be severe repercussions for letting the going into the will of the parents, but because the parents are starting to. Last time I played, I got really mad because the parents seem like they know more than the parents know everything. They know a lot more they let on, and I feel like they're trying to make things lead into, for all intents and purposes, I feel like they're trying to lead the whole galaxy into worshiping them. Yes. I said yes, God. I'm sorry. I gave it to the gods of this universe. I'm sorry. I don't want to die. Can you understand? Amicus needs us. I don't want to die. He needs us. I gasp and pull back, head reeling. I feel soft but strong paws grip me around the shoulders. Are you all right? I look around wide-eyed, feeling almost sick as that weird feeling of control in my brain suddenly leaves. I don't know what to say, and Virginia glances back at the spear. Might not be suited to a simian brain. Calm. Yes. Oh man, I forgot my computer voice. Yes, Virginia. Locate Mark's profile. There is no such profile archived. Well, you did it at least. Let's get you back to Neferu's room. We walk through the halls, Virginia having to help because of my unsteady feet. I'm stunned, feeling as if I'd just come up from another drug trip. But it's not what I felt, or even the visions of violence that had me shaken up. It's Amicus' screams of despair that linger in my head. I have to see him as soon as possible. I have to make sure he's alright. I feel like that was a bad choice, but I feel like there was no good answer to that. It's not my fault. There was no good answer to that. There was no good answer to that. You smell so good. Amicus has me pinned to the floor in the little blanket that I brought with me. He's smothering me with his big body, grinding down against me as he licks and nips at my neck. I haven't even been here more than a minute. But wait, what if Com sees? I gasp around the licks, and Amicus responds by holding my head in his giant paws, keeping me steady as he starts to push his hips against me, his thighs forcing my legs upward. Amicus mumbles into my throat. Then let him watch. Com isn't watching, as far as I know. Somehow... Sorry. Somehow I'm able to convince Cassius to give us more somehow I'd been able to convince Cassius to give us more privacy. Actually, I think I just grossed him out when I asked, wrinkling his nose. He instructed Com to keep the drone at the top of the ladder this time. At that moment, I felt the wolf's hard length pressing on my ass, and even though I'm in my underwear and robes, I pull back. Whoa, not now, Amicus! Amicus goes on nuzzling me, moving to my face and locking lips with me for several seconds, while he continues to push his hips against me. He finally pulls back a little. I know, I'm just playing around a little. I've been down here too long. I love you, everything about you. Clearly. That's all I'm able to say before he starts to kiss me again, licking and sucking, and I'm at least glad that it tastes like they're providing him with that mouthwash stuff down here. See, like I said, I have some slight issues with the story. Granted, they might be resolved by the end of this, and I know Kemia's coming out, they might resolve a lot of that in Kemia, but I'm going based on what... Granted, they might resolve a lot of that issues in Kemia, but one thing I have to say is Amicus and Marco really do have a very loving relationship. I think regardless of whether you could say that it was done, whether you could say that they fell in love with each other too quickly, or if you could say that the circumstances that got them to love each other are a bit odd, you cannot deny that the writer did really do a good job did really do a good job on having the romance feel very loving, and both characters really being devoted to one another. So I do like that. Granted, they kind of screwed it up just a little bit when Amicus had sex with um when Amicus had sex with Neferu. I almost forgot his name, Neferu. But besides that, I think it's well done. That is a big black mark on the love romance. But besides that, I love their romance. I love their the romance between the two of them. I've never seen Amicus so horny before, which is saying something. His paws gripping and stroking at me almost desperately as his muzzle kisses every inch of my neck and face. He pushes his body down against mine, his considerable chest and belly crushing me flat against the ground. But when his muzzle starts dipping down lower, snuffling against my chest and under my robes, I decide that I've had enough. I reach around to grab his upraised rear, getting a handful of thick furry asses. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that's it. I'm sorry, I don't know why, that made me laugh. Getting a handful of thick furry ass. Okay, that's kind of funny. Okay, quick thing. I completely agree with that. Somebody said I think personally there needs to be less of time skips. It makes it feel slightly bit quick. Makes it feel, yes, I will give you that. That is one of the biggest criticisms I have heard for this visual novel, that it is very fast-paced. It's very fast-paced. Some people can, like I said, if you don't want to hear me go on for like a minute or two, it's fine. You can just mute me for a minute. But I do completely agree. I do think that as much as this visual novel has some good concepts going for it, it's kind of, some parts of it are thrown together. I feel like it was very thrown together. But I do agree. I do think that it skips very quickly, too quickly, and that it would have been nice to see this take a slower pace. And this is a complaint I've heard from numerous people, so it isn't just one that I'm making up, nor my viewers right now are making up. It has been a genuine concern brought from many people, even people that enjoy Adastra, that have said they feel like it was very quickly paced. I'm curious to see how Kemia is going to be. Okay. Okay, so the creator had stuff going. I'm just told that the creator did have stuff going on outside of this, so perhaps Kemia won't be quite as fast paced, and it's fine to have a fast paced story. But I think it's fast paced in all the wrong things. Like, once Amicus went to jail, everything seemed like it sped up very quickly, and I would kind of like to see that build up of. I would kind of like to have seen that build-up of the main character, we'll call him Marco for now, the main character Marco, that build-up as he's worried about what's going to happen to him. Like, what's going to happen to me now that the person that is, for all intents and purposes, my master is in jail, what's going to happen to me? They resolved that very quickly, too quickly to me. I would have liked to see that more of that tenseness. You know. So, give me 1 second. Somebody is calling me. Give me one moment. Okay, we are back. Sorry about that. But thank you for letting me know, Lost Fire, about that. So thank you for letting me know that it possibly might have been the creator was dealing with some stuff outside of the work they were doing. But yeah, I do agree with that. Like I said, Adastra for me, I hate being like that. I don't know if I would call it one of my top 3. And there are a few reasons for it. I'm not saying it's not a good visual novel, but as of right now, I don't think I can call it a great visual novel. I can call it a good visual novel. I think the lore and the universe potential are great, but the actual visual novel itself, I would call good. The art is fantastic, and the art's fantastic. I think the concept is fantastic. I think the art is fantastic. The story, I think, is, I would say, good. And some of the characters are less than good. But things could change. I could be surprised. Things could change by the end of the story. Alright, anyway. Predictably, Amicus gasps in surprise and pulls back, quickly sitting up so that his rear is safely pressed against the blanket in my room to finally set up myself. What was that for? For not letting me catch my breath, and I know you don't like things near your butt. Well, emperors shouldn't have things near their butt. I roll my eyes at his silly but understandable insecurity, and crawl up to Amicus to sit in his lap, the wolf eagerly pulling me in. I love you. I love you too. Amicus rubs his paws up and down my arms and shoulders, still just feeling me out. I can't wait to get out of here. No more hiding when I'm Emperor. I'm going to show you the real Adastra. Being stuck behind these walls is not how the Emperor's beautiful lover should be treated. I touch back, pressing my hands over his paws and resting my head against his chest, listening to the rumble of his voice. Oh, and what's the real Adastra? Amicus pulls his paw away for just a moment to wave it dismissively before returning it to press against my chest. These politics, it doesn't represent the moon's true face. I need to take you to other cities and landscapes. The people are vastly different too, from region to region. I listened to him contently for a few minutes, happy to just hear him speak again, reminding of how easy it is for us to just talk to each other. And we actually have time to talk. Cato was in a different city on official business, so Cassius had granted us at least a little more time than the last visit. Amicus rocks back and forth, and I pet the fur on his chest, listening to his heartbeat. It's clear that they allow him to bathe down here, but the lack of any perfume leaves only the slight smell of his natural musk. While I miss the lavender smell I'm used to, I don't mind the masculine scent he's giving off, especially after our little reunion just now. I want to sit here forever, feeling completely calm and safe for the first time this week. I don't even... Sorry, for anybody that I'm cutting off, I do apologize. I wouldn't even just say that it's so linear. That is a part of the issue. But I think it's just, there's too many gaps and holes in the story. It's like there's not a lot of them, but when they show up, they're big. Like, last time, I apologize for the last time I did this, part 8, because I went on a tangent because they said the parents are... It was something like the parents are all seeing, but then in a few sentences after, they're like, oh, the parents are not all seeing. And then I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. Either they're all seeing or they're not all seeing. And if that's the case, if they knew this was going to happen, it was one of those things. And that's why, like I said, I don't think Adastra is a terribly done visual novel. I have seen far worse. Lagoon Lounge, anybody remembers me playing that? The romance in that game was terrible. I mean, really bad. As much as I enjoyed the slice of life parts of that game, most of it is spit with the naughty parts, and I did not like them at all because they were just done so abruptly. Which, speaking of, I do still plan on playing Lagoon Lounge. I do still plan on finishing the last 2 games. Even though I hear 2 is terrible. I hear 2 is worse than 1. 3 is okay, but I hear people told me, they said, be careful, that game's bad, and there's a lot of stuff in it that's really bad. But, yeah, I do feel... But a lot of times when you have the preconception when you play a visual novel, you're expecting choices. This visual novel does not have a lot of choices, and that's fine. But to me, if that's the case, then why even make it a visual novel? I'm going to say... Actually, you know what? I'm going to say it. I think Adastra would have been better as a series of books than an actual visual novel. There, I said it. I know people are going to hate me for it. It's true, though. Adastra's universe and stuff, it would have been far better done as a series of books than an actual visual novel. I guess you could Minotaur Hotel, I can't say that for, because Minotaur Hotel is written like an actual novel, but the difference with Minotaur Hotel is there's a lot of choice in that game, which there gives it the validation of being coined as a visual novel. Adastra does not have that. Adastra does not have that many choices, and the story is pretty strict and linear, and has a start path and a start ending. Besides what I heard, some slight differences in the ending, which there are apparently 2 endings for this visual novel, there's not much difference. But that's what I think. I still think it's good. I think the art's well done. The writing itself is... You know what? Who cares? I might not be the best writer, but the writing itself, I think, could use work. Like I said, but again, if the writer was having, or head writer was having issues, I can't fully, blame them. But that's it. I want to sit here forever, feeling completely calm and safe for the first time this week. I know it has to end, though, and there's so much to tell the wolf, so I pull back, looking up at Amicus's face. Amicus? Yes? I need to talk to you about something. Go on. Amicus leans down, pressing his nose against my hair and inhaling deeply. It's about the parents, I think. I need to talk to you about something they showed me. The snuffling in my hair pauses as Amicus absorbs what I just said. The parents? Yeah. The parents? I sigh, whenever I'm going to have just as much trouble convincing Amicus of this as I did with everyone else. I still remember the look Neferu gave me when I told him about the drug trip I had. Amicus seems to sense my frustration and hugs me a little tighter. Hey, I'm just surprised. I believe you. I have no reason not to. He nuzzles my head again. Did they come to you in a dream, or... Sort of. I tell Amicus what happened in the hallway in front of the meditation room. What? I push through his shocked explanations. I do love Amicus's surprise reaction, though. I push through his shocked explanations and go on to describe the dreams I've been having as well. What? But why wouldn't you tell me this? I shrug against his body. I forgot about them as soon as I woke up. I didn't remember till after what happened with Cassius. Well, I feel Amicus's chest puff up with pride. Sounds like I really am meant to be emperor, huh? Eh? That's what they said, but you know what else this means. The monitors know I'm here. They're okay with it. So I guess it's not really even illegal, right? There's a pause. I mean, it may have just been a dream, but it's nice to hear. Nevertheless, also, stay away from that room. Well, I find it funny that Cassius uses Somni to make contact. I'd rather you not use it. Amicus kisses the top of my head as I let out a sigh of exasperation. I didn't do it on purpose, and you said you'd believe me. Amicus lets out a chuckle that rumbles through his torso and into my back. It's a comforting feeling, and despite my annoyance, I find myself pressing deeper against him. I believe that you saw these things, but who can say if it was real or not? Sometimes I have dreams or have entities that I believe are the parents, but I don't necessarily believe it is actually them. I'm quiet for a moment, letting the silence drag out, and I know Amicus well enough at this point that he's got his ear pointed up, waiting for me to respond. Trust me, like, seriously, you need to trust me on this, Amicus. Amicus spends his own moment being quiet, resting his cheek against my head, contemplating. Do you trust me? There's only a short pause. Alright, yes, I do trust you. There's a sense of conviction in his voice, and I can tell that he really is determined to believe me. Thank you, but I only saw that because of something else that happened. What was that? I take a deep breath. Amicus, sensing my anxiety, suddenly turns me in his lap to face him, letting me lay my head against his chest as he pets the side of my head. Oh, pets the side of my face. I'm sorry, everyone. This is what happens when I live stream again. Give me a second, everyone. 1 minute, one moment again. I promise. Hopefully this will be the last time. Hopefully. Sorry about that, everyone. Also, I did want to say I'm sorry for like pausing and unpausing. I currently only have the one monitor, but I am. thank you for the compliments on my ringtone. Thank you. I will be here all day. Um, besides all that, um, I still currently have one monitor, but I do have a bigger desk that I mentioned a while ago. I am planning on getting a second monitor. My friends actually talked about giving me his monitor. And it's a 1440p, so that'll be my main monitor. And then I'll have my second monitor to keep in contact with the chat, which will be heavenly. It'll be so heavenly to do that. Oh my gosh. Can I tell you how excited I am streaming again? I miss streaming, you know? We're going to be doing a lot more streams. I really miss streaming. I really like doing this. Also, I was thinking about streaming on Twitch as well. What do people feel about that? Would people like me to stream on... Would people be interested in seeing me stream on that? Because that's actually something I've been interested in possibly streaming on their more average, normal video games, like Mass Effect series and Dragon Age and Borderlands. So I'm curious about that. But somebody did just tell me, they said Echo does incorporate your choices and lack of choices a lot better than Adastra. I'm really excited to play Echo. I'm just waiting. Because from what it was supposedly by December, the entire VN is supposed to be finished, and I'm so excited to get into it. I really want to play it. It's so far ahead now. I feel like I might as well just wait till the VN is completely finished before I play it. Because I am excited, because that's considered a horror visual novel, and I'm excited about that. Also, if you're interested in horror visual novels, I'm playing something called The Beast. Feel free to check out The Beast. It is not that bad. It's actually pretty good. And the best part, it's hand-drawn. All the art is hand-drawn. So that's good. Hey, you can tell me anything, Mark. Like I said, I believe you. He says it even more firmly this time, tipping his muzzle down to look at me as I look up at him, meeting eyes. Alright, so I'm in the archives with Virginia yesterday. Amicus's eyes widen. The archives? What were you doing in there? This reminds me that I also need to tell Amicus about what we've been plotting this past week. I'll tell you in a bit, but something happened when I was hooked up to the machine. You connected with it? Why would... In a bit. Anyway, while I was hooked up, I had another vision from the parents. Amicus thinks. Well, I suppose that would make more sense considering that's the way the Emperor speaks with them, but it's only the Emperor they speak to. Yeah, well, for whatever reason, they started talking to me. Actually, you started talking to me. Me? I think so. You were like yelling, telling me that you didn't want me to leave you. Oh, well, that does sound like something I would say in such a situation. But you sounded really scared and sad, and I felt like I couldn't breathe. My throat hurt and just felt weird. Amicus seems to contemplate all of this, but doesn't say anything more. I start to get frustrated, but I realize that I can't really expect him to offer more information that I don't already know. I guess I had hoped that he would have more insight into why parents do things the way that they do. But really, I'm on my own figuring this all out. Don't tell me anything with spoilers with Echo. Please don't. I can't wait to get to Echo. I haven't even... You know what else I haven't played yet? The Smoke Room. But I do have a quick question for you. I've been really debating on playing Smoke Room. Do I have to play Echo to play Smoke Room? Because I keep hearing people go on and on about Smoke Room, and I've seen the character designs, which look fantastic. Can I play that without playing Echo? Because I really do want to start Smoke Room. I sigh and lean my head against the wolf's chest. Look, also, sorry, let me share something. Real quick. If I can find it. When's the last time I talked to this person? Sorry, I am looking for a certain person to share this with. This music is very soothing, actually, though. That's one thing I will give. The music is very soothing. Can't remember his last name. Sorry, I'm looking for a friend of mine because I want to just share his thing. For people that don't know, it's not really needed to know. I left a server, a furry visual novel server. There's a lot of reasons for that. No, there's not. That's not true. There's not true. There's a reason I left, but I can't share it in that group anymore because I'm not in it. I just needed a break, I guess would be, to put it kindly. I just needed kind of a break. So, okay, it is done. You'd play Echo before that. Okay. Maybe I'll play it. Maybe I will play Echo because the first route I wanted to go for was Chase. and wait, please, before people try to send the pitchforks and knives my way, I like his design. That's the only reason. I love his design. Yet I hear people really talk to me about how I've heard so many people say they hate Chase, and I'm just like, I don't know why, because I try to avoid spoilers, but people really don't like Chase. People really do not like Chase at all. There's a lot of people that don't, and I'm just like, I don't know why people hate him. He looks like a cool, chill guy. I've seen a little bit of the game played, and it's just like, he seems alright, and just like, yeah, I freaking hate Chase. Chase sucks, and I'm like, oh boy. I'm like, this will be fun because it's the first round I'm going for. Him and Carl are the biggest ones I want to go for. So we're gonna find out why people hate Chase, and it begins mad people just raging at me. Be like, oh yeah, Chase seems like I'm like, man, Chase seems like a pretty cool guy, and then somebody just like sends like a freaking brick through my window. Hey, what's wrong? I'm sure you'll be fine. The parents are very mysterious. My father had several visions he had trouble interpreting. I feel like something bad is gonna happen, like really bad, and I don't know what it is that I should do to stop it. Did they give you any guidance at all? They just said to give in to their benevolent will or something like that. Amicus gently pushes me back so that he can look at me directly before he smiles gently. Well, there's your answer. The parents only want what is best for all of us. Just follow their guidance, keep your mind and heart open to them, and all will turn out as it should. I feel like this is a trap. Just give it to the parents. Just do whatever they want. It's almost like, gosh, I don't want to bring religion here, but it's almost like religion. Just give it to the religion. Whatever happens is meant to happen, and don't have any free will of your own, or don't think for yourself at all. It'll all work out perfectly fine. And I'm like, ha 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 ha. Let's look at human history, shall we? Oh. I can't tell you why people feel that way about Chase, but I still kind of agree with them. Oh no. Oh no. And that game is a horror game, so I'm scared when people are like, yeah, I hate this guy, because you're already gonna hate people, and for people to actively be like, yeah, Chase is not a good character, I'm just like, oh no, what does this character do? What does he do? Oh no. I'm really worried. I really want to know what he ends up doing. Oh, hold on. Oh, boy. Okay. Those sentences wouldn't be out of place during a sermon in a church on earth, and I'm reminded again how these parents really are seen as gods. How did I do that? How did I guess right before I read the sentence? I literally said what this character just said. I knew it. I knew it. How did I know? It's a comforting thought that I could do as they say and be just fine. Made all the more comforting by Amicus' smile and confidence in the matter. But there's a nagging feeling in the back of my mind that there's more to the parents than the wolves seem to know. I lower my voice a bit. I just don't know if I trust them. Amicus laughs, and that actually does annoy me. Hey, I'm serious. There's something off about all of this. Like the way they're Hold on, give me a second. One more time.
I'm sorry. Do you have money on your card?
not enough for pizza. Wait, why does he want pizza? I thought we'd get reps. I thought we'd get pizza. I thought we'd get reps.
No.
Well, I'm not paying for pizza. Sorry.
Because I don't have enough money on my card, and next they said the only delivery is.
I'm not paying for pizza. Sorry, I don't want pizza. I don't. Hey, I'm serious. There's something off. Shit, I had my mic on, didn't I? I had my mic on. Well, anyway, ignore all that. It's perfectly fine. I am fine. Hey, I'm serious. There's something off about all of this. Like the way they're going about things. If they want me to do something, then they should just tell me instead of showing me scary visions. Amicus forced himself to stop laughing and clears his throat, trying to look serious. I'm sorry, Mark. I just sometimes forget that you are outside the Galaxis and aren't accustomed to these things. The parents are nothing but benevolence and goodwill. Amicus, come on, you're not this dumb. Come on. Amicus, you're smarter than that. Amicus, you're smarter than that. He has some good numbers, but there's also some pretty bad stuff. Sorry. Well, Chase has said what he has to say about Chase. I'm very curious to see how Chase as a character actually is, and give my own opinion on him. We all feel their, but Amicus, meanwhile, Amicus is being a little stupid, and the thing can be bad because I already know he's a little dumb, but he's being really dumb right now. We all feel their guidance in our lives, even if we're not able to speak to them directly like the Emperor. The fact that you are able to do so is an incredible honor. You should be happy, not worried. Amicus strokes my hair. Yeah, but don't you think me being an outsider gives me a different perspective on all of this? What if they are what they say they are? They are, and have no reason not to be. Amicus' voice becomes more firm, and I can tell that he's starting to become uncomfortable with my questions. My advice to you, listen to them. They will help you and maybe even figure out a way to get us out of this mess. Besides, it's a great relief to know that you may be here for a reason. I'm starting to think I was meant to find you. Why, Amicus? Why, Amicus? Why? Amicus hugs me again. I decide not to press further. I'm very curious to know what happens if you, don't agree to their will. I could see this being a lot more argumentative. It's already argumentative. I love and trust Amicus, but he's clearly on board with anything to do with the parents, and I doubt I'd be able to make him question that. Not that I really want to anyway. I just worry that I'm being led down a path that I really don't want to go down. Oh, Mark? No, stop! What are you doing? Stop! Why is it acting weird? There we go. Amicus, clearly sensing my continuing anxiety, pulls me forward to kiss him. I kiss back and it feels good even though my stomach continues to churn. 10 minutes remaining, Mark. Com uses his loud voice to call down to us from the top of the ladder. Amicus and I sigh in a unified frustration. Want to have a little fun before you go? I look down and I'm kind of amazed to see that he still has a boner, which makes me wonder how much he'd really been engaged in our conversation. I have to tell you, I catch myself lowering my voice. What we've been doing to get you out. You can do that and other things at the same time. Amicus tries not to look too eager. I roll my eyes but press my hand against his chest and draw it slowly down the wolf's front over the curve of his stomach. He immediately moans quietly as I reach the lower part of his abdomen, and I see the bulge jump in his underwear as his hips even thrust up a little bit, too. I laugh at his eagerness, and I have to admit that it's kind of nice to have something more lighthearted to do while I discuss all of these troubling issues with my wolf. What was with that time skip? What the hell? Why was the time skip like that? That was so abrupt. What? That time skip just was like, it was like, hey, let me tell you what we're gonna do to help you. Go on. It's like, no time for story. Wolves. Alien wolves. Get to it. Jeez. Jeez, that was so sudden. Get to it. It's like no time for alien wolves. Wow. That was very very abrupt. I don't even know what to say to that. Okay then. All right. All right. Okay. Back again. That's one good thing about OBS. I can easily skip through things. No problem. Or I can hide stuff. More like. For the next little while, I walk around the gardens, taking advantage of the mild weather. But the thing is, I didn't notice. Sorry, the thing is, I didn't notice these time skips until like halfway through it. It's like we get to like halfway through the story, or this is probably the last third of the story, and suddenly everything and suddenly like everything is like really rushed. It was already kind of a fast pace, but this is like really like zoom, zoom, zoom. We have no time for story, no time for political intrigue. I mean, which the story was supposed to be. Was that what this was supposed to be? This was marketed as a political intrigue, and I see a little bit of it. I don't know. Let me shut up. What do I know? I'm not a visual novel creator. Who knows if who knows if I ever will be a visual novel creator? I guess I can't really say anything. I've noticed it's become cooler and less humid over the past week, which is nice. Apparently, it's as cold as it gets on this part of Adastra, though, and it never snows. Speaking of, it's actually very nice right now in my place. It's like 70 degrees. I sat on a bench thinking back on my meeting with Amicus just an hour ago. It had been easier to say goodbye to the wolf this time, especially now that I know Cassius is willing to let us see each other as much as it is possible. That being whenever Cato was out, which is good, because he's going a lot of the time doing his official business or whatever. Amicus once again had recommended I distance myself from the plotting so as not to get caught up if we gotta get exposed. I reassure him even though I know I'm going to do whatever it takes to see this through, even if that means I will have to put myself in danger. I don't want Amicus to be down there for another day. Just yesterday, Cassius, our Cato, banned all talk of Amicus on Adastra, which Neferu told me only caused the rumors to really start flying. They range from Amicus being imprisoned, true, banished, or even executed. This is good for us, I'm told, because the public, whether they like Amicus or not, generally doesn't feel he should be struck from existence just because he lost the emperorship. In other words, the people will likely be on our side when we finally reveal everything. Hopefully. That's really all we can rely on considering the emperor holds so much power, even if the way it was achieved was illegitimate. The Triumvirs barely check the emperor's power, so unless the people as a whole come together, it will be difficult to remove Cassius from the throne. This is why you have a democracy, and not just any democracy, an actual democracy. Because what our country has is not democracy, it's capitalism. America, U.S. has... Yeah, Yeah, you're not Lost Fire. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. This, like I said, I don't think you're the only person that complained about the Adastra as a whole. The visual novel has a very rushed feeling. And it is, I mean, and you have to think about this visual novel was done in about a year, a little over a year, not like a year and a few months, which is ridiculous to think about a visual novel being done that quickly. The shortest visual novel I've seen done took what? I think it was about almost 3 years. I think the shortest visual novel I ever heard done before Adastra was like almost 3 years. This was done in like a year. That's really short. The Trumpeters barely checked the Emperor's power, so... Okay, alright, read up. If Cassius still refuses to step down, our options will be very limited, and most probably won't turn out well for me, or anyone here that's not part of the family. Still, Cassius is proud, very proud. Neferu and Virginia think he'll either step down or at least accept combat to go out with honor. Hopefully the first, because I really don't know how Amicus would deal with the idea of having to kill his brother. I sigh and lean back on the bench, really getting frustrated with all of this political bullshit. This had been the exact type of thing Cassius wanted to get rid of, but now it just seems worse than ever. Just as I'm thinking, I see Alex. He's just up the path, standing right in the middle of it. And he's looking right at me. I give a start, then just stare back at him. He doesn't move, just goes on looking at me, and I start to wonder what the hell he's doing. He doesn't have his usual smile on either, and as a soft breeze blows through the leaves and foliage, I start to feel like I'm in some kind of horror movie. Actually, now that I know who he really is, I do start to feel a little concerned about what he's capable of. So I decide to act casual, stand up, raising a hand, and walking over to the cat. Hey, Alex. Alexios will do, Mark. Okay, hi, Alexios. I thought be with you, Mark. What? I feel things should be more formal between us from now on. That is all. No, I mean, why that greeting? I heard Nefer use it many times, but no one else. You're a Chemian, are you not? That gives me pause. Oh, yeah, I guess I am. The cat smirked. Odd, you seem to have forgotten your own citizenship. I shrug. Still getting used to it. I mean, it's something that even some siblings desire, not to mention children, or even the uncontacted. I raise an eyebrow. That's so? Certainly, who wouldn't want to be part of the most spoiled civilization in the galaxy? I sigh, still tired from thinking about all this political maneuvering. Playing a game with Alexios is the last thing I want to do right now. Cut the bullshit, Alex. What do you want? Excuse me? You're excused. I walk past the cat, listening to sputter in surprise. You have some nerve to talk to a sibling like that. I frowned, glancing back. What's that supposed to mean? You're not even a child, yet you throw your weight around here like you're the most important person in the palace. I laugh loud. I see the cat's ears pinned back. Are you fucking kidding me? All of you assholes have been throwing me around with all your plots and fake niceties. I'm just trying to survive. Also, last I checked, Chemians are all equal, so I don't really give a shit if you're a sibling. Alex looks completely taken aback, which is completely satisfying. And haven't you always implied that the wolves are fucked up for looking down on their children and treating them like slaves? Alex coughs to clear his throat. My apologies, I simply lost my temper for a moment. You were just being a bit rude. Or maybe deep down, you're just as specious or whatever as the wolves, even though you try to pretend you're not. Neferu's the same way. Even I'm surprised myself a little. It's not like the lid is finally... It's like the lid has finally blown off and I'm just using Alex to vent all my frustration with this place. I mean, he's not wrong. I like this stuff. See, we needed more of Marco being like this person that's stuck up for himself. Like, we needed more scenes like this. What has gotten into you, Mark? Or, actually, it would have been better... I know people are going to think it's weird. It would have been better if he started off like this, and as the series went on, he calmed down a little bit as he more understood how the politics work. I think it would have been better, actually, if he would have been more like this in the beginning, and calmed down by closer to the end of the series. Not to the point where he was submissive, but enough where he was calmer. Because, I mean, let's think about it. If we were magically transported to a random alien world, besides the great scenery, you after that you'd be freaked the hell out. You're like, what the hell's going on here? I went off this planet. There's a long pause and I finally sigh, rubbing my face. Sorry, I think I'm losing my mind here. For the first time in a while, I see the cat crack a genuine smile. I can tell then that you're not meant to be a diplomat. Definitely not. For a moment, I feel that odd familiar kinship I had with the cat not even a few weeks ago. I do believe that in any other situation, and one where we're not all spies, Alex and I could have been really good friends. I know that can't be the case now, though, so I stop smiling to look Alexios right in the eye. But seriously, what do you want? I can tell you're trying to get something out of me. Alex becomes serious too, smile fading. He considers me for a long while, probably realizes I'm not going to play his little game. Alright, Mark, who are you? I know you're not an abandoned child. What is it that you want, and what are you doing here? So you want to know everything? Yes. And why should I tell you? Alex smirks. Why be blunt if we're going to play the game anyway, Mark? I'm just curious as to why you're so curious. I hardly matter in all of this. That is a complete lie. Everything has changed here since you arrived. This is why I want to know. But why does it matter that you know? I am an important link between I'm never going to get this word right. A link between Amorpha and Adastra. It is my job to know what is happening in this empire. Uh-huh. So who told you I'm uncontacted? Cassius. You've deduced correctly, but I also know that the monitors seem to approve of it, which is rather odd. I shrug. Again, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I don't see why I'd tell you anything if I don't know anything about you. Why, I'm just a simple pet. I don't know anything that's going on. His tone of voice tells me he's mocking me. I raise an eyebrow but don't say anything. Alex sighs. The simplest way I can explain it is that I'm trying to maintain peace in the galaxy as a whole. That mainly involves watching the motives of the wolves. Why's that? Because they can be dangerous. Okay, are none of the other siblings dangerous? Mark, Adastra is the only civilization in the galaxy to wage war on another sibling in over 10 millennia, and they were the perpetrators in the previous war as well. Not only that, but they waged war on an almost parent-level civilization. They're suicidal, and I can't imagine why the Chemians want an alliance with them. I think, do you not want the alliance to happen? It seems to go against what Alex would want. I thought he wanted Amicus to take the throne. I want the Galaxis to remain safe. Is the alliance something you want to happen? I frowned, wondering why he's asking me. I mean, to me it seemed like it would create peace, so yeah. Alex's eyes narrow like he figured something out. What, do you want the wolves to stay isolated? I just want order. The wolves have none of that. The silence stretches out between us. I suppose you're still not going to tell me anything about yourself, then. I didn't say I would, and there really isn't much to tell. How about this? How did you secure Chemian citizenship? That's not something that's just given out to children who are presumed to belong to wolves. The question takes me by surprise, though this whole Chemian thing does seem to be what's bothering him most, especially after his greeting. I think, but the truth doesn't seem harmful here. Honestly, it was just to protect me from Cassius. He doesn't really like me if you haven't noticed. The expression on Alex's face tells me he definitely doesn't believe me. Cassius wouldn't harm you unless you did something that deserved it. He said he wanted to execute me because I backtalked him and Amicus slapped his nose. Alex's ears flattened. Cassius says things. He's very passionate. That's one way to put it. I shifted my feet, starting to get tired of this conversation. Listen, I have nothing against you, Alex. I'm just trying to get through this as much as you are. Neferu gave you the citizenship, right? Yeah. And you're working with him to make the alliance a reality, correct? That stops me. What? No, I'm focused on Amicus right now. Alex glares. Which is still part of the alliance. I guess so, but honestly, that's not really my top priority right now. It is part of your top priority. I'm getting frustrated, and I start to sidle off toward the palace. Yeah, we established that. Listen, I'm gonna lay down. I'm tired. Alex goes on staring and doesn't say anything. Again, I have nothing against you. I hope that we can just go back to normal in the future once it's over, you know? Indeed. With that, Alex turns and walks up the path, leaving me to stare after him. I decided to ask Neferu about what happened with Alex. That was an interesting scene. How long have we been going on for? I'm going to go on for like another half an hour. I want like a 2-hour stream and then we'll stop. I know they had some kind of relationship going on, so maybe it can enlighten me on the cat's motives. My mouth is already open as I'm walking into the bedroom when I'm hit with a blast of sound. In front of me is Neferu with his back to me, though I can see he's in his underwear. He's moving fluidly around, arms and paws waving about and pausing at odd angles while his feet slide across the ground, gliding back and forth. I love how the animation. At first, I think he's doing some kind of exercise, but then I can hear him singing over the music. It's wordless because it doesn't translate through the linguo, but just a sort of howling sound, though very different from the wolves. It's very loud, and it's a wonder I couldn't hear it in the hallway. It doesn't necessarily sound bad, but I can tell Neferu isn't putting much effort into making it sound nice. Still, I feel like I'm walking in on something private, so I consider backing out. Of course, that's when he spins around and immediately spots me standing there in front of the door, my mouth still open. Quickly, I fix my face with a pleasant smile, trying to act casual so I don't embarrass him. Oh, hey, Neferu, I pause to see Neferu grinning back at me. I was just, You okay? I have to almost shout over the music. The jackal is swaying back and forth a little bit, almost like he's still dancing. Oh, oh, Mark, what an incredibly pleasant and joyous surprise. Thanks? The jackal begins to dance again, facing me this time, though he doesn't sing, thankfully. Are you okay? Better than I've ever been, my simian friend. What do you think of the music? Neferu nods at the ceiling. It's nice, kinda loud. I'm sorry, I need to hear sounds from home every now and then. The wolves have no spice in their music. The jackal slides his paws sensually over his torso, smoothing the fur down to better accentuate his pecs and abs, his eyes glued to mine. I look around and note the 3 bottles of wine on the bedside table. Oh, he's drunk. Oh, you're drunk. I'm drunk. Oh, Neferu. Neferu spins in a circle and actually almost loses his balance, something I've never seen him do. I've seen him buzz before, but he's always managed to keep his composure. But now? How drunk? Too drunk, but... Neferu studies himself against a pillar, leaning and rubbing his head against it. At the same time, not drunk enough. I quickly make sure the door is closed behind me before moving closer to the jackal. Do you need help? What? I raise my voice above the music. Do you? Neferu waves his paw at me. Wait, calm. Pause music. Pausing Danced Amongst the Dunes by Hequet. I need another drink. No, go back. Neferu reaches out toward the table even though it's good 10 feet away, and I look over to see that one of them is half full. There's a pause, then Neferu opens his eyes, frowning at me. I said I need a drink, Mark. And what do you think I'm going to do about that? You're a slave. You know what to do. Oof, I stare. Excuse me? You are a slave. Neferu pokes a finger in my direction with every word. Don't let the wolves tell you any different. As long as you are here, they are your master. But you were treating me like a slave just now. I was making... Neferu pauses. He makes a strange swallowing hiccuping sound. I was making a point, clearly. Sorry, should I simplify my words for you? The jackal goes on staring at the bottles, wondering if it's worth it to make the journey there. He turns back to me as if just remembering that I'm there, though he seems to have trouble focusing his eyes. Don't worry, Mark. I am just as much a slave as you are. You have the advantage of some day leaving, though. I move closer, deciding to sit on my bed while Neferu goes on, hugging at the pillar as if letting go will cause him to fall. That wouldn't be good considering the fountain is right there. You can't leave whenever you want? Neferu chuckles and coughs, another sound I've never heard from him. You don't understand. I can leave, but I can't leave. Yeah, I don't think I do understand. Suddenly, Neferu's ears flatten. You really fucked this up for me. Do you understand that? I blink. What? You fucked my life. This time, Neferu uses his foot to point at me, or really just sort of kicking it in my direction. What the hell are you talking about? If you hadn't come here, Cato would not have had the excuse to nullify Amicus' emperorship. I would be halfway through negotiating an alliance by now. Wait, this isn't my fault. I was brought here against my will, Neferu. Neferu makes another deep swallowing sound and just belches loudly. Yes, I'm sorry. I forgot it's mostly that big idiot's fault. I feel my temper snap and I stand up. Now is not the time I wanted to find out. Now was not the time I wanted to find out that my most important ally actually blames me and my boyfriend for the situation he's in. Hey, I know you're drunk, but I'm not going to listen to you say this shit. You call me back when you're sobered up and stop feeling sorry for yourself. I start walking toward the door quickly, feeling a little sick at the whole situation. If Neferu really is turning on me, that means the only person I can trust here is the dungeon. I really would be alone. Wait. See, I like stuff like this. This is stuff that I would have liked to see more focus on in the beginning of the story, not later on in the story when we're at the last third of the story and we're supposed to be having an alliance to free Amicus, and now they decide to have issues with all the characters around each other. I just don't like that. I think this should have been something done in the beginning and possibly the middle, and then have them come to an understanding at the end. This kind of sorry, I can't try to find the proper word. Conflict. I couldn't find it. This kind of conflict feels odd at this part of the story. This stuff should have been said at the beginning or the middle, not towards the end of the story, when for all intents and purposes, Marco didn't have much of an issue with Neferu. Even when Neferu did that thing with Amicus, he had an issue more with Amicus than he actually did with Neferu. And now this coming out of nowhere, like, oh, suddenly all the characters don't like each other. It's like, wait, why wasn't this done in the beginning of the story? It just doesn't add up. His voice is so quiet that I'm almost not even sure if I heard it. I paused, though, looking back over my shoulder. He still leaned up against the pillar, his ears down, gazing at the ground. I'm about to ask him to repeat himself, but that's when he suddenly lets out a gasp and slides down the pillar to his knees. He crumbles on the ground, paws covering his face as he trembles and starts to sob loudly. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. I stare open-mouthed, watching the jackal cry for several seconds. Apparently, too drunk means way too drunk. Still, this jackal clearly has a lot of problems that he doesn't tell anyone about. Actually, he doesn't really have anyone to tell them on this alien moon. At least I have Amicus. So, after standing there in stunned silence for a moment, I walk over to Neferu. I stand awkwardly at the side for a moment, watching his broad, black-furred shoulders heave up and down before I kneel and rest a hand on his back. I see his ears perk up for a moment of reaction, but otherwise he doesn't say anything. I'm generally not the best at comforting someone, especially when they're crying, but I run my hand in a circle through the fur. Hey, I get it. This whole thing is really frustrating, but we'll figure this out together. Pacing. No. Not pacing wasn't the word. It was conflict, because I'm saying, like, pacing, yes. Pacing is for this certain section. I also feel like the conflict is almost artificial towards the ending with him and Neferu, because Neferu has done a lot worse than simply blame Amicus and the MC for his situation. That's what I'm saying. This feels more like, I don't know. This just doesn't feel like it should go with this part of the story. I feel like the beginning should have, this is what it should have been. The beginning, you're introduced to the character, and you have the conflict between the character and their new surroundings, as well as their current quote-unquote master, Amicus. Middle of the story, you start to have that resolved, while also having him begin to have conflict with the other side characters of the story. This part is when all this stuff should be wrapping up. This is when conflict shouldn't be. The only conflict that we should have is between the only conflict I should have right now is Marco against Cato and Alex, because you found out Alex was a traitor. But that should be it. Now suddenly he's having issues with Neferu. Now suddenly he's having issues with the parents, and I don't feel like it should have been happening back then. I don't know. I just feel like the pacing, yeah, I guess you could say the pacing is off. Hey, I get it. This whole thing is really frustrating, but we'll figure this out together. I give the jackal a few minutes to finally calm down, then I start to pull him up, pushing him in the direction of his bed. He doesn't resist and stumbles up to it before falling face down onto the covers. He wipes his face with the pillow, and while he does that, I quickly grab the wine bottles, moving them to the floor so they're out of his reach. Finally, Neferu lets out a big, shuddery sigh. Can you rub my back again? It feels good. The jackal's voice is stuffy from his clogged nose. Sure. I kneel beside the bed before starting to rub Neferu's back again. Speaking of stuffy noses. Nope. He sighs, head turned away from me. I let the silence go on for a while, listening to the jackal sniffling every couple of seconds before I finally speak. So, what happened? I drank. Yeah, speaking of which, Calm, bring us a glass and pitcher of water, please. Yes, Mark. And, take the wine bottles away, too. Yes, Mark. No, my precious Wolvian wine! Neferu said in a mock sad voice, but combined with his already sad state, there's not much of a difference. Again, what happened? I don't know. I suppose I realized how challenging this all will be. I can't say I trust the Wolven people to oust Cassius. They're rather accepting of corrupt officials. I think trying to approach this delicately. Is your family making you do this? Like, they won't let you come back unless you cultivate the alliance? My family doesn't even expect me to accomplish that, but that's why I must do it. If I don't, I might as well be banished. It seems kind of unfair that they'd put all this on you. After what I've put them through, it's only fair. I wait for more of an explanation, but he doesn't go on. So is what Alex said on the island about you and your family true? More or less. Again, he doesn't seem interested in talking about it, so I just go on rubbing his back. Well, we're gonna get Amicus out of the dungeons and onto the throne. I know you don't believe that I've talked to the parents, but I really think I have, and they're on our side. Neferu chuckles. So you'll get that alliance. I hope so, my friend. We sit in silence for a long while, and even I start to enjoy the hypnotic motion of rubbing Neferu's furry back in a large spiral motion. My mind wanders back to the cat. Speaking of Alex, I had a weird conversation with him today. I think he thinks we're, like, conspiring against him or something. Neferu grunts. Stay away from that cat. He's nothing but trouble. Well, he kept bringing up the alliance. He seemed to want to know my role in it. Neferu turns his face toward me, his eyes bloodshot, but the tears dried up at this point. I assume it had something to do with not wanting the alliance to happen. Yeah. Neferu takes a deep breath and presses his face into the pillow, letting out a long groan. All I can say is, don't trust him. Yeah, definitely not. I just don't really get what he's doing. Neither do I, and that's why you should stay away from him. Really? I thought you two, I don't know, talked and did stuff together. Which didn't shed any light on his motives. Considering the way our relationship has changed, I doubt I'll get any more information from him. Sure you can't just seduce him again? Neferu cracks a smile. Last time I tried that, he referred to me as a whore, which isn't exactly inaccurate. The doors open and a drone glides in, setting water down on the bedside table and fetching the bottle from behind the jackal's bed. Neferu watches it go morosely. I clear my throat, trying to distract it from the departing alcohol. I get what you mean, though. It seems like he favors one side, then the other. I don't get it. Neferu waves his paw. Best not to worry yourself with him and simply stay away. Orphan fans are famous for their quirks and seemingly contradictory behavior. Maybe maybe Alexios just wants anarchy. I mean, it's possible he could just be an anarchist. Maybe he... Pacing doesn't exist. What are people talking about? Ike, what are you talking? Are you talking about this? Wait, are you being sarcastic right now about the Adastra? Because that's a little harsh. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, it has pacing. It's just a little all over the place. Alright. I've rubbed for a while longer, switching hands as my arm starts getting tired. I'm starting to think that the jackal has fallen asleep when he suddenly speaks again, jolting me out of my trance. We will be revealing our hand to Cassius tomorrow. With any luck, Amicus will be free by the end of the week. Oh. I'm surprised, finding that hard to take in. I knew this would be coming, but not so soon. How are we going to do that? Well, we have 3 pieces of information that can help us. The first is the footage from the 3rd trial. Hopefully that'll be enough to convince Cassius to step down. Neferu suddenly shifts and slowly sits up, groaning again before reaching for the pitcher and glass of water. The second is the footage of Cato attacking me. I'd rather we not have to use that, but if Cassius isn't convinced by the first, then we may have to resort to it. Neferu drinks deeply from his glass, and I watch him impatiently as he drains the entire thing. And the third? Neferu gasps and leans back, setting the glass down. Remember your little theory about the previous Emperor's accident? I nod. Alex said the investigation was botched. Neferu glances at me. The fact that the cat tipped you off is worrying, but it is very odd. The investigation wasn't botched, but rather called off by the acting Emperor. Cato? Indeed. The investigators were only able to get as far as discovering a possible malicious software installed on the ship's navigation systems. Considering software has to be installed through a port, and that ship is heavily protected whenever outside the palace, the installation likely would have had to have happened while inside the palace. So, Cato. Neferu chuckles. More than likely, yes, but I don't understand why. Cato was good friends with the last emperor, and as far as I can tell, he was supportive of his policies. Well, how people act on the outside doesn't really seem to matter much around here. Or anywhere. What convinced me of Cato's involvement, however, is the fact that every single investigator has gone missing since. What? I start to feel that icy fear in my chest again. If it is Cato, then he really is ruthless. What I saw happen to that doctor, Felix could only be a taste of what Cato was capable of. Unfortunately, because there was no solid evidence linking Cato, I'm afraid it might not be very effective. It could be another last resort, though. Anyway, would you like to go with Virginia to try and convince him with this information? Really? You've been trying to get me to stay out of the way for the past week. To keep you safe, but I've noticed that Cassius may have taken a liking to you as of late. You know him to some degree and could use that knowledge to better convince him. Well, I wouldn't say he likes me, but yeah, I can try. And as I said, Virginia will be there to help as well. I assume you're not going? Neferu smirks. I am the last person he would want to see while discussing the possible end of his rule. Besides, I know I'm not going to be feeling my best tomorrow. I think I'll stay in bed for once. Drink more water. Neferu sighs, just sort of looking at the pitcher. I roll my eyes, reaching out to pour him another glass. Oh, how kind of you. I am a slave, right? Neferu winces as he takes the glass from me. No, you're Chemian, and I think we'll be very proud to have you. With that, he once again downs the entire thing. Ooh, things are getting spicy. I mean, besides some issues, I don't feel like this should have been brought up now in the story with Neferu since we're in the alliance. I feel like something like this should have been brought up in the middle of the visual novel, but all right, everyone, it's time to ask my lovely, adoring fans. Would you like to see me keep going, or should I stop here? Do you think it's a good point to stop, or should I keep going? I'm gonna let the 5 or so people make the decision for me. I'm going to make the 5 or so people decide for me. Come on, everyone. I need you to vote. I need to know, are we going to keep going with this story, or it's been about close enough to 2 hours, or should we just end it here? Or should we do another big scene and then stop? Or do you think this is a good cliffhanger to leave off one? I do promise the next playthrough will not be 4 months. I will do it next month, hopefully. Next month. Whoa. Next month already. No, next week. I'm sorry. Next week. Probably on my days off. It's easier to stream these on my days off. Or I might do it. Who knows? I might do it a few days from now. I really am having fun with streaming. I miss this. I missed talking to all my subs and viewers. I missed having this fun time. I want to do this again. I'm really regretful that I stopped streaming. Like I said, part of it was my streams keep getting taken down, but I feel like I want to keep going with this. I really enjoy doing streaming. No, Lost Fire, don't say either way. Alright, fine. Since Lost Fire is the only one that answered the question, I think this is a good point to stop. Excuse me. We're gonna stop here. Or I'm gonna stop here. This was good. This was a good stream. I really liked having a discussion about Adastra, and like I said, I do think it's a good visual novel. But if I'm having fun, why not continue? Well, Lost Fire, because I'm just going to go order something to eat. But I mean, I could still stay here. I don't know. That's why I asked you guys. I wasn't sure. I'm fine either way of stopping or keep going. I mean, just because I'm having fun doesn't mean I don't need my rest. I was actually editing my story today. The third chapter of a long-term story I'm doing. If you're interested, check out my FA. If you want to know how to look at my FA, simply go on my profile page for YouTube and click the FA symbol. It'll lead you right to my account. I do write short stories in my free time when I can. Many of them do not have to do with anything related to my visual novel. I do have a few short stories though that take place in the Beastly world, which is the name of my visual novel, Beastly. So if you're interested, check that out. If not, that's fine too. My stuff usually does contain lewd material to an extent. Actually, the next short story, this short story I'm working on has nothing to do with Beastly, but the next short story I'm going to be working on is going to be a side story. The side story is actually going to be unique in that it's not necessarily canon. The other stuff I've written has been more backstory stuff for the love interest and whatnot. This one is for a main character, but it's more like it's more a non-canon story that takes place halfway through their route. So, kind of interesting. I'm excited to start writing on it. But anyway, nobody else is answering. So I think we're going to stop. Unless somebody comes out of nowhere and says, "Wait, hold up, please. I need more Adastra in my life. Please, please keep streaming." Then, then I'll be like, "All right, fine. You got me. You broke through. You chipped away at the icy exterior of this strong, beautiful wolf's heart." So, unless that happens, which doesn't seem like it's going to happen, we're going to end. Thank you so much to everyone who watched this. This, like I said, this was really fun to do. I will be doing a lot more of these live streams. Yeah, Lost Fire, I think it's just you. I think it's just you. It's okay. Well, thank you everyone for watching this. We're gonna be doing a lot more. I'm trying to think. The next visual novel that the next thing I do want to live stream, I'm not sure. No, other people are here. Lost Fire. I don't know what the next thing I'm gonna live stream is. What's the game I really want to get through? Oh, Chemo Coliseum. I have to play through that. No, I can't. Chemo Coliseum is a lot of NSFW material. I don't want to play live stream that. I might take a risk with. Oh. I still haven't touched Killigan's Treasure. Killigan's Treasure. Oh, okay. Ike, what do you have to say? Yes, Ike. What do you have to say? But yeah, definitely I'm gonna be I'll live stream Killigan's Treasure. That's one I'll live stream. That I definitely will get to live streaming soon. I keep saying that, but I will get to it, I promise. But Ike has something to say before I go, so I'm going to wait for him to say what he needs to say. And I probably should actually save. I don't even think I saved. Yeah, let's save. Okay. I keep hearing people. I've heard a lot of people say that Lost Fire. A lot of people have told me that Echo is something that they think I will greatly enjoy, especially because I really get into visual novels. And a lot of people have enjoyed Echo. And it will be nice to start with the corner piece of what started off the quote unquote Echo project, which Echo project now encompasses the smoke room, which is Echo, the smoke room, Adastra, which I'm playing now, and now Kemia. Ike, I thought you had something to say. Because I gotta go. If not, I'm going to head off. Okay, I think we lost him, folks. I think we lost him. I think he's gone. What? Virginia? Ike, what are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. Virginia is down south somewhat. Like, yeah. Alright, Ike, if that was your question, I waited for 5 minutes for you to ask your question like a good host, and you asked me a question like that. Whatever. Alright. Anyway, everyone, I hope everyone has a beautiful day. Take care of yourselves. I love each and every one of you, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Stay cool. It's actually pretty cold now, so stay nice and chilly, because it's about time. This summer was a hot summer, at least for me it was. But anyway, with all that being said, I hope to see a lot more of you in my live streams. This has been Fallenwolf. Oh, please don't forget to like, comment, and or subscribe. If you want, only if you want to. AKA, go do it right now. Go subscribe right now. Any new people, go subscribe. Go watch this. But I will see you next time. Bye. Oh, wait, is my head... Okay.